I was once an international student living in Spain. I learned Spanish literature and culture, and I made good friends and I had a really good time. But when the end of the stay approached, I had to take a decision. Should I stay in Spain? Should I go back to Switzerland, or should I move on? I wanted to work and live abroad, so I found a traineeship in Greece for some months, and then I returned back home. Later, I came across with the same question a second time in my life, but from another point of view. As a researcher, when I started my PhD on international students in Switzerland, I wondered what influences their decision of staying or leaving Switzerland after graduation. And I realized there was hardly any information on the stay rates. So the first big task I had to do was to make this data available. And this is when I faced my biggest challenge. I had to work with statistics. I had to learn a lot, and with a little help of my colleagues, it all worked out. I took the student register, and I took the migration register, and I brought it together and created a new longitudinal data set. And by doing that, I could reconstruct study trajectories of international graduates in Switzerland. And by doing that also, I could find the stay rates. It's 49%. 49% of the international graduates on master level still were registered in Switzerland with a permit 2 years after graduation. Almost half of them stay for at least 2 years. I was surprised by the high share, and I wondered, well, what makes them stay? It's first of all employment opportunities and important social relations they have in Switzerland, their spouse, maybe their partner, friends that live with them abroad. On the other side, it's also social relations that make them want to return, to be back home with their close friends or family. And finally, it's opportunities that make them move everywhere else to move on. But migration policies may limit their freedom of staying, but also their freedom of moving. Now, what does this mean for Switzerland? International students are part of the foreign population, and there's a trend of increasingly limit and control immigration. By law, a non-European third country national student has to leave the country right after graduation. But since 2011, there's an exemption rule in place, so non-European graduates can apply 6 months permits for job seeking. But the information about how to apply is scarce, and it's not promoted actively by the state, so it's not used in many cases. Other countries have also realized the great potential of retaining international graduates for their labor market as highly skilled workers. So they offer 12 to 18-month permits for job seeking after graduation. They have information platforms, programs, and sometimes better legal conditions. Now, they provide time for the graduates to find the right job. If Switzerland wants to continue to retain talent and to be world leading in innovation and research, we could think about providing better information too, a bit more time for job seeking, and maybe also better legal conditions. But eventually it depends all on the very personal decision of the graduates. And we have some graduates here that are in this situation, and to them I wish all the best.